There once was a man who lived in the forests. He lived a quiet, aesthetic life with only the basics for his needs. He had a bed to rest in, a chair to sit at, and a table to work at. In the mornings, he would go out to the creek, wash himself, and fill his bowl with water for his meal. And in the evenings, he would go out into the forest and collect firewood to keep himself warm. Late one night, as he was coming back to his house, he noticed a stranger in his home. And when he opened the door, he realized that there was a thief ransacking his place, tearing open everything, trying to find anything of value that he could steal. Now the man had a code. It was his policy to always give a gift when he had a guest. But he wasn't expecting this guest, and so he had nothing. He couldn't think of anything that he could give this burglar. So he just took his house coat off and gave it to the burglar. And stranger grabbed the coat and ran off into the night, swearing. And the man sat there and contemplated what had happened. And as he was meditating, the clouds started to dissipate, and the brilliance of the moon started to trickle down and illuminate the leaves of the trees and his balcony and his windowsill, and it just shimmered, and it was quite beautiful. And the man said as much. He said, "Wow, what a beautiful evening this has turned out to be. I wish I could have given that man the moon." That's a Zen koan. It's an ancient story. I was thinking today about making a video about generosity, and that's the story that came to mind. That story has more than just generosity in mind. It also speaks about the dangers of selfishness and greed, and the virtues of asceticism or modest living, and probably more too. But I thought that was a nice story, and it reminds me of some of the virtuousness of my own life. Now, I'm not saying I'm a virtuous person. I'm far from a saint. But in terms of some of the things that I like to keep in mind when making a decision about my life are echoed in that story as best as possible. On a personal example, I was down in, Texas, I think, or it might have been Fredericton, New Brunswick. I was hiking. I did a lot of hiking. I was like a year and a half on the road. Not hiking in the forest, but like hiking on highways. Catching rides when I could, just seeing the sights. I went to 11 provinces in 26 states with me and the dog. I think I left with like $100. So there's definitely a level of relying on the generosity of others, both in terms of me having some financial needs met, but also in terms of travel. Like, hey, you're going that way anyway, like, let's go together and meet each other. And there are a number of you on my Facebook, and you know who you are. We met that way, and we still are in touch, and it's great. There's no way we could have met in any other circumstance. So that was cool. So I met some really awesome people that way. Now, one of these days, I was walking up this hill somewhere, and it was a busy hill. It was steep hill. There's bumper to bumper traffic. Hi, puppy. Hi. And as I was walking up this hill, everyone's in their cars, drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes, being angry about being late. And there's this lady on the curbside, flying a sign. She's got like 2 or 3 kids under her skirts, and she's got a sign that says, like, we're hungry, like, you have some food or some grocery money. And I was backpacking, and I didn't really have much either. But I said, hey, like, I know, like, it's evidence. Like, there's no question that I'm definitely going to be getting more money, and soon. So now that I have this opportunity, I can share. I can give what I have. So I emptied my pockets. It was like $2.50. It really wasn't much, but it was all I had. And I gave it to the lady, and she said thanks, and I kept walking. And about like 100 feet later, like, I could still kind of see the lady down the street. This car rolls down the window, and hey, you, come here. Yeah, what's up? And I said, I saw what you did there. I said, okay. So that was really nice of you. Here's $10. So that was, like, in terms of like investment strategies here, like, in terms of the amount of money put in to the amount of money received over a period of time with risk factors considered, Warren Buffett has never made that good an investment, right? $2 in, $10 out over 5 minutes. Like, if you could do that all day long, you would be a trillionaire, right? Like, that was a really good investment on my part. And it didn't come from a sense of how can I get. It came from a sense from how can I give, knowing that I will be provided for. Now, it came from a sense of faith for me, but I don't even think it does need a sense of faith for that mechanism to work. I think if you go out into the world and you see how you can add to it and how you can generate kindness and give love, if you go out into the world doing your best to selflessly care for others, the world will give you all that you need and more. But if you go out into the world saying how much you can take and how much is yours and how much you can bring back and protect, then the rest of the world will meet you on that wavelength. It's not a level of faith. Maybe it's metaphysics, but it's definitely reality. There's another quick story. The hummingbird and the vulture, they live in the same neighborhood. They fly in the same trees. They have the same 24 hours. When the vulture goes out on his day, all he can see are dead things, things that stink, things that are rotting. And the hummingbird, she goes out in the same area, and all she sees are things that are beautiful, things that smell wonderful, and things that taste sweet. I love you. Have a great day.